Hey Rosie, hey Squiggles, hey Barrick, how are y'all doing? Your Honor, Ace Attorney. I had to go back out to the title screen because it wasn't playing any music at the spot that we stopped at. What do you mean a homunculus screwed you over, Squiggles? Okay. Why is my tracking gone? Let's just do this real quick. Okay, hopefully that works fine. Oh god, what was this voice? This was the deeper Nayuta voice, right? I've never met any personality named Owen.
Patches was just blurting out nonsense in panic. We're always aware, so we'd definitely notice if a personality like that showed up. How dare you treat me like I'm a criminal based on mere conjecture?
Wow. That is such a weird, bizarrely specific interaction. Are they plural? Yeah.
Wow. How am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities?
Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. I just realized I forgot to adjust my microphone. I don't have to adjust the angle on my microphone for anything except for when I'm playing games on the TV in my setup. You'd best screw your courage to the You'd best screw your courage to the stinking place and attack their testimony head on.
All right, I will. Just stop piling the pressure on me. I have to draw out some info. Anything to drag Owen out into the open.
Hold it!
Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other, like people meeting on the street?
Well, it's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out.
So, when you're out, Uendo, what are the other 2 doing? Well, we never know when our turn will come, right? So we stand by and listen. So that means all 3 of you share the same memories.
I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right.
I see. Thank you. Please continue.
I'm waiting for my tea to cool off with the lid off again, and I'm hoping that I don't accidentally bump it yet again. I should honestly put it, like, off and away, but
Hold it!
I want it within arm's reach.
Patches, can I have a word with you, please? Why, hello. You rang? You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen. But then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury?
Well, you see...
I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen, I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin, wow, that's a word. Highfalutin words, he's going to want to keep silent. I see. So looking after loose-tongued Patches is your role, isn't Miss Kisagawa? Well, I don't know about that, but anyway. I do know that Patches was just flustered, and that's why he decided to remain silent.
Hold it!
But what if for some reason you 3 were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the 3 of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen?
What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean.
I mean, you 3 share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the 3 of you are unaware or unconscious.
Objection!
I'm here to spout nonsense and be a piece of shit. Instead of speaking as if this 4th personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first.
Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A 4th wouldn't be a stretch.
You dishonor the victim and this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof.
Have you ever heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Sadmati? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see one, there are likely 30 in your home.
What is the, if you see one, there are likely 30 in your home, what is that? What is that in reference to? Is that in reference to, like, pests? Like mice or something? Roaches? Ah, hi, lobster.
I'm basing my theory on such premises.
Ah, there you go. Welcome in, G-Men. Or Gemin. G-Men. How are you doing?
Comparing us to cockroaches. Do we bug you that much, girly?
But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all three personalities became unconscious, as you say?
Well, I'm about to demonstrate a way that I can make you unconscious now, Yuta.
Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation.
Well,
Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Also, hi Not, how are you doing? Look for something that could render Uendo and the others unconscious.
Simon's right. I can't back down now.
Oh. I will refund you those points. Give me a sec. I need to close my VTubing software because clearly it's not functioning. Can somebody redeem a Twitch integrated throwing system thing like Beanage? And neither of those worked at all. Okay. On your way home right now? Just read some of the patch notes for Final Fantasy XIV 7.2. They appear to have gutted Black Mage. Let's try At Magic again. Yeah, my tracking stopped because I closed my software. Technical difficulties. Front facing Maddie. Real quick. Everything is broken. Truly, this is in fact a VTuber stream. Breaking the fourth wall, yeah. Something is very clearly broken here. Twitch integrated throwing system. I really would appreciate it if you would stop opening a billion local host tabs. Stop. Oh, wow. Cool, thank you. I like how we got this, like, intense music while I'm trying to fix, this. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Now Twitch integrated throwing system is freezing on me. No, but the emote range should mean that, the rest of it's working, like the hat magic. Sorry, this is taking a minute. Nayuta fucking killed my my internet. Oh, did the head pat not work? Hi. Okay. Head pat also broke. Real quick, in an effort to try to fix everything, I am going to end stream real quick. Don't go anywhere. I will be back shortly. I'm gonna restart my PC and see if that helps. Stuff is still fucked. No idea why, but for some reason, none of my stuff can connect to Twitch. Yeah, I don't know. Something's fucked. Something's fucked, and Twitch has like a billion different settings tabs, so I don't know where to go to I don't know where to fix this. And I don't know if this is a me issue or not. I don't know. So, am I animate again? I am. Okay. Real quick. Sorry, I'm putting a thing in chat so I can pin it. There we go. Yeah, no clue why Twitch integrated throwing system just straight up isn't working. Or why half the stuff that my yeah, just like a lot of it's broken for no reason. It's all of the stuff that relies on Twitch like input to stuff. Weird.
For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait, Mr. Wet?
Rest? Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. Why am I like staring into the sky? At Magic Brook too, it is, yeah. Or at least it was when I tested it. It might not be broken. You can test it at your own point's peril. I'm fresh, like all my soba. You know, less soba do rest. It's all about the three freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles fresh. AWS? What does that mean, Lobster? He's blacked out.
Mr. Wet, falling unconscious. Oh, wait a minute, I think I've got it.
Miss Sykes, you have proof to back up your theory. Amazon Web Services? Ah. Yeah, probably. Do I have proof to back up my theory? Oh, yeah. Here, this is gonna give everybody like way more points than they put in. I'm just gonna reject all. So everybody's gonna get like 1 billion points. Also, that might have reset the first and second and everything. No, the emote ring seems to be working. You have proof to back up your theory. I don't think you do, but... Hi, Eprak, how are you doing? Sometimes because the PNGs rotate in 3D, sometimes you end up just getting the sides of it. Also, why is this segment still called Uendo's Mood Matrix? We are not in the Mood Matrix segment. Doing all right. We're having some technical difficulties with like most of the redeems, so... It seems like something's breaking over on the Twitch end of stuff because my Twitch integrated throwing system stuff and my my VNyan interactions don't work. Which means no one can steal my hat. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo.
It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory.
This most likely is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness.
The alcohol?
This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness.
Yes, the sake. And it isn't just like, or isn't it just like Master Tonido to pick a fine brand like Camel?
Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Oh, please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated, and it's not even wine. Silly girl.
I must agree. Need to become more cultured, Athena.
Tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right?
It's called sake. End of story.
Fine, sake it is then. Ay caramba, everyone's so touchy about these things.
I recall Master Tonido would often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course. Ay caramba, yeah. Bart Simpson cameo.
And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. And that's when your fourth personality, Owen, emerged. I drink sake. Oh, that's a good one.
We have a real sweet tooth, you see. So yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really dislike sake, we said no thank you to that.
Isn't Yuta dead yet? No.
Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out.
So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake.
What? But that can't be right.
This is the quickest your message has ever gotten to me. I don't know. Shit's up with Twitch tonight. Like, none of my none of my fun redeems are functioning, and it makes me sad. Okay, chat. I have to ask. Should I do have the ability to manually switch to the cat model. I do not have the ability to manually increase the hat size. Because it's all automated and it's a pain in the ass, but should I stay as witch or should I become cat?
The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away.
You amateur. Do you really think I had not already done so?
Okay, give me a sec. There we go. Oh, I forgot to hide the UI. Whoops. You just gotta remember to manually reload that next time.
Your foolishness is beyond the pale.
Don't tell me.
There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally.
Right, of course.
Miss Sykes, would you like the witness's statement added to his testimony?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very well.
I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake.
Yeah, the same brand.
Hold it!
So, if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you'd conk right out, huh? And that's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Tonido offered, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And then maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient?
I don't recall doing anything like that.
He doesn't recall doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He might just not have known that he did. I'd better take another look at the evidence.
So he didn't drink any sake, huh?
Oh boy, now we're in trouble.
That kind of answer is exactly why Sad Monk keeps insulting you. Now use your head. There are countless ways Uendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it.
Well, I don't know about the countless part, but...
But nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out.
So the witness must have had something that contained sake.
What does sake have to do with anything? Athena's current assertion is that because the three personalities that we're talking to currently all share memory. She's operating off of the thought that Owen could come to the front when the three of them are like unconscious, basically, or out of it.
Is there anything in the court record that hints at something like that?
Objection!
Oh, come on.
Knock knock, who's there? This evidence in that statement. This evidence in that statement?
What the fuck is this?
They contradict each other, that's who.
Huh. That's not even the proper call and response for a knock-knock joke.
And what's more, her claim does not even make any logical sense.
Your performance merits neither applause nor leniency, defense.
Everyone's a critic. Cut me some slack.
See, I was thinking it would be the crime scene report because either A, they're the same brand as the sake, or B, that spilled glass is awfully close to the rest of the buns.
Since nobody involved with this case is named Owen, we have to explore the possibility that he's a hidden fourth personality of yours. After all, the cards read Owen Fourth.
But how can you be so sure that's what the cards really mean?
What else could they possibly mean?
Well, for example, Owen the fourth hitter.
Who in the world is that? He's a baseball player. A really great one, too. Owen Gonzalez, 36 years old. He's a cleanup, fourth place hitter, of course. If a famous baseball player was there hanging around the theater, he would have drawn a lot of attention to himself, don't you think?
Well then, how about this?
Maybe it means ON4TH. Like ION 4000. And who is this mysterious N person?
What? N isn't a person. It was Shisho's favorite hobby shop, Enjoy. He was a huge model train collector.
I see.
Maybe he owed the hobby shop some money.
N from Pokemon? Yeah. No, N from Xenoblade. Mobius N. God, Xenoblade 3 was so good. I want to replay it and I want to restream it, but I'm gonna play through the rest of the Xeno series before I play Blade 3 again. I gotta play Blade X. Blade X Definitive Edition just came out.
And so he left a note to remind himself.
On Karuta cards on the table? Shisho worked in mysterious ways. Are you even taking this seriously? I'm being completely serious. The point is, Owen Fourth could mean just about anything. I suppose you're right. I guess I'd better approach this from a different angle. I should approach this from a 45-degree angle instead of this 90-degree one I'm approaching it at now.
Hold it!
They didn't touch the glass that Mr. Tonido offered. Yes, that's right. We ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient. All doing it. That. All doing it, but that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. Just might not have known that he did. Is there anything in the court record that hints to something like that? Yes, there is, but you said it was incorrect when I presented it, game.
Hold it!
See.
Hold it!
I'm just repressing these. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Share the memories, but what if one's different? What if he has memories separate from yours?
Objection!
Instead of speaking, you should shut up, Nayuta. So bro really did just come to court drunk, didn't he? Sykes, you have proof to back up your theory. No? Afraid not, Your Honor. Of course you do, Athena. Have another good look at the crime scene photo.
Okay. Something that could have made the three of them lose consciousness. Was there anything like that in the dressing room?
Yeah, the Vinian's eye tracking is actually really good. It's amazing because my tracking on VC Face, which was the other VTubing software I used, just didn't track my eyes at all. It was based on head movement.
Objection.
I object so that I may say some stupid asinine shit.
Prosecutor Sodmati, keep talking and I'll show you a way to make people unconscious. I already said that before, but I'm going to, like... I'm going to kill you with hammers.
Please point out. Yep. Is it the bun?
Take that!
Am I overlooking something really obvious? Not.
Apollo, I swear, it's like Naruto was dropped on his head as a child.
Athena, I was dropped on my head as an adult.
Hold it! Objection.
I guess let's try pointing at the box, but if I have to point it out here, I'm gonna be upset. Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? I'm not paying attention, so I won't let you present what you think is the correct answer.
Take that!
Whoops.
Wendell was most likely smacked over the head with this, and that's why he passed out. I may be soft in the noggin, but I don't see a single bruise on my head, do you? Well, then maybe it wasn't so much a smack as a swing and a miss.
Well, what a coincidence, Defense. Your assertion was a swing and a miss, too. Athena. Uendo didn't need to be hit over the head to lose consciousness. Lord knows Bucky has passed out several times today without being smacked. Yes, I would like a hint. Sykes, please point out this proof of yours. Yeah, it's the fucking sake. But like...
Take that!
Okay, yep, cool. Soba flour. 2 drink cans in the fridge. What? Nothing was found in his lungs. If it's something with this, I'm gonna be upset. But I'm not seeing the detail you're talking about. Gear was from a balloon act, and Uendo was to do his soba glutton routine. Okay. It is that. But that doesn't contradict.
Objection!
That doesn't contradict. Fuck off, game.
This shows what most likely made Uendo lose consciousness.
That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish?
I'm not hungry and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it?
This is another situation of pointing at the crime scene photo should have worked.
What exactly is your point, Defense?
This faint design here reminds me of the paper from...
Yep, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Uendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun.
Well, yes, that's right.
What? Why are you autoplaying?
I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Uendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. Why was all of my fucking texts auto-scrolling?
Yeah, we cat for a little bit. Bean bun? But how?
Because those buns contained a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that.
Punchy secret ingredient.
Yes. The design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room.
It does?
The design on this object matches that of the manju box's wrapping paper.
Take that!
Camel pattern? It's the same as the one on the for Camel brand sake. So, it's just as Uendo said. He didn't drink any sake per se.
But he did eat some.
Impossible.
Uendo had a Camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients.
Vince is claiming that Uendo passed out after consuming a Camel sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming.
But there's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they're steamed? order to give them a stronger flavor. Some manju is specifically made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible.
Ace Attorney does have a lot of these moments, but the issue is that it gets better when you get to Apollo Justice. Like, Apollo Justice and Dual Destinies are pretty good about it. They're definitely not perfect about it, but they're better, and then this just falls face first directly back into it.
What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. Then how about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor?
Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test. Witness, you will get absolutely fucking drunk on the stand. Please.
Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy us some camel manju on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay?
Why must I? And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'll get one for me as well.
This is literally just a joke I would make.
I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know. But just this once, I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. And all of you had better pay me back. Oh, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame.
How is this actually just... This is just actually a joke me and Viv would make.
Now then, let us adjourn until the manju arrive by Carrier Hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns.
Also, Taka cameo. Did we really ended super close? Like, I guess it was about an hour, so.
Now that the sweet ones have arrived, this court is back in session.
Go on, Uendo, eat up.
Nice flavor. Really taste the sake. It was delicious.
Yes, a unique sweetness and the faint aroma of sake. Yet I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this.
What's the matter, Uendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you? Or are you scared of how many calories it has?
Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never.
Less bleating, more eating, Witness.
Fine, whatever. See? I told you. It don't affect me the slightest. We might be a lightweight. Come on, nobody's that light.
Seriously, nobody is drunk off of a... It looks like it worked.
Oh my, witness, please tell the court your name and occupation.
Oh. Oh. My name is Owen. I'm 5. You're 5 years old? Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. Oh.
So he is Uendo's 4th personality.
I'd hardly think a child like him could have a motive to murder the victim. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder?
That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak.
It seems the defense was hoping this hidden personality would be the real killer. But now that he's standing here before us, it is clear that none of Uendo's personalities can be the killer.
Where can I even go from here? Chisho. Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master? Come on, buddy. Won't you tell Auntie Athena what happened?
What a scary lady.
I'm not scary. Look at Auntie's big smile. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please with sugar on top.
Yeah, Nayuta has absolutely no room to, like, judge that because, like, the country that he's from literally was like, yeah, this small child definitely could have crushed this man's skull with a box. Can we get the other lady back in here to show us the victim's final moments? Yeah.
Okay. Shisha was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I loved Shisho.
Athena, do you sense anything behind his words?
I sense his sadness. A sadness so pure it's heartrending, but no discord. Prosecutor Sadmati is right. Owen isn't the killer.
But then don't you find it odd?
Find what odd?
Let's review what we've learned so far. Uendo rearranged the Karuta cards to pin the blame on Bucky.
Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen.
Nah, I definitely think that it's a fucking clown girl. I think it's Gyaru.
But Owen is only 5 years old and absolutely adores Master Tenaido.
Exactly. The other 3 personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards
Probably wouldn't have been Master Tenaido. So then, who did it?
Clissy's so good it was fatal. You haven't seen this person? Fell asleep early last night? Defense? The appearance of Owen help you figure anything out?
Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the Karuta cards.
But I thought it was the victim, right?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the Karuta cards on the table was none other than...
Uendo's 5th personality. They actually let you pick that.
I believe the person who laid the cards out is the very person who killed Taifu Tenaido.
how quickly you move on to a new target when your Owen theory proves false. You Pulkunan.
I don't know what a Pulkunan is, but I know I'm definitely not one. Also, Judge, can you please tell off Prosecutor Sadmati for saying slurs in the courtroom? And before you start with the sermons, why don't you hear me out?
Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. But if you're bluffing, I won't go easy on you.
I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Who did the Karuta cards name when the scene was discovered?
Let's see. I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Wet.
That's right. But then we found that the message originally read Owen 4th.
Which implicated the young boy, Owen.
Exactly. And the person who rearranged the cards was undoubtedly Ueno. Uendo.
Changing your mind when presented by contradicting evidence couldn't be Nayuta real. Uendo may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV all but proves it. I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. The reason Uendo rearranged the Karuta cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen 4th message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime.
Right on, Prosecutor Blackwell. It would seem that Owen and the other three personalities don't share the same memories.
But really, there is no 4th personality. It's just the 3 of us in here.
Uendo feared that Owen had killed Master Tonaido, so he tried to hide Owen from us.
Oh. But it turns out, Owen is but a 5-year-old child incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master.
So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen.
I see. That does make sense.
Objection.
This is not but conjecture, composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who then do you maintain murdered the victim?
I believe Owen might know something about that.
Objection.
I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Have truths my ass, Nayuta. We present a lot of evidence, yeah. We present a lot of evidence. A lot of it may be circumstantial, but a lot of yours is also circumstantial. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent. Nayuta, you'd willingly convict a 5-year-old, yeah.
Objection!
But
Your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it's time to let it go and
I saw it. I saw Shisho getting... Owen! You do know something, don't you? Yeah.
Oh my, is that true? Yeah, I really appreciate that they made a remix of the Dual Destinies theme for her pursuit theme. Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Sadmati? Get fucked, Prosecutor Sadmati. It's all right, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know.
Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out.
Sorry, give me a sec. I hereby declare the defendant not guilty. Not because the defense has made a convincing argument, but because the prosecutor is a little bitch.
This eyewitness testimony is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Owen, can you tell us anything else about what you saw? I was so scared. I was so scared. Owen! His emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him.
Is he all right?
His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away.
I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help the poor boy.
Will do, Your Honor. I'd better find the cause of these out-of-control emotions, pronto.
How old is Zuendo? That's a good question. "28. Wow, Gyaru is 34? That's actually surprising. I thought she was younger than that. Blood was dripping onto Shisho's face, getting it all red. At all, so scared I passed out.
Yeah, blood was dripping down onto Shisho's face. Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood at in the crime scene photos. Besides, if the victim was standing upright, how could blood drip down onto his face?
As I expected, all we managed to obtain from this child is a tale he dreamt up.
I guess it is a little weird for blood to drip onto the victim's face if he was standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something? What do you think, Simon?
I don't know. Owen's one confused and upset kid right now, so who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead.
Huh? What thing?
That thing you and your cohorts do. What do you call it? Rotate your thinking about?
Oh, you mean turn your thinking around?
Yes, whatever. It's the same thing anyway.
No, it isn't. Who's ever heard of rotating your thinking? Actually, Simon, speaking of rotating your thinking, when you're bored, have you ever just rotated a cow in your mind? Nobody can stop you, and it's totally free. I mean, rotate is... Hey, wait a minute.
What?
You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate might just work perfectly after all.
Rotate. No, that's not the problem with that case, Sachi. The problem with that case isn't that it landed and covered the cards perfectly. The issue with that case is that the cape flew off of the guy's back and onto the statue with no, like, it breaks the laws of physics. We're currently doing that case over on Viv's channel, actually. That's where we're at. We're at Big Top. Come again.
All I have to do is rotate this cow in my mind. All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. When he saw his master, Owen must have been...
lying down.
Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder.
What?
That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotated my thinking by 90 degrees. Which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees.
And?
This means Master Tonito was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery.
And which mystery is that?
Come on, Judge, use your fucking brain for once. And the mystery of how blood could have been dripping down onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could happen if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tonito from somewhere up above him. I remember now. Somebody was sitting on top of Shisho.
Hi, Jaemon.
So trying to recall his master's bloody killer is what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from the person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back.
This means his assailant was injured on their face somewhere. Like the forehead, perhaps. Are we doing Ace Attorney 3 stuff? But yeah, I hope you're doing good, Jaemon. Athena, I can't even visualize an apple.
Assuming the victim and his attacker were face to face, then yes.
I see. And so that is what happened. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a fresh bandage on his forehead, does he not? That injury of Mr. Wet's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder. Okay, I mean, that one doesn't frustrate me that much, but like, bro, you were literally bitching about, like, this. You were bitching about us getting testimony from him earlier, and now you're just like, ooh, now that it works in my favor, I'm perfectly fine with it. I know that this is normal Ace Attorney stuff, but when Nayuta does it, it's unforgivable. And he should die, actually.
Why?
Conclusive my ass. Yeah. It seems you've dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of.
No, actually, I was just digging you a pit. You know, 6 feet deep. I even put a nice little box in there for you to sleep in. Even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out-of-control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now?
What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you? I love when Ace Attorney uses the word conclusive. It's never conclusive.
But it looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had both motive and opportunity. Plus, he has that injury on his forehead.
Your Honor, I sense that the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on. Well, Miss Sykes, I understand that you don't want to give up on your client. I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason. Well, that lawyer did her best, but all signs point to the defendant's guilt. It's time she gave up. Tried everything she could.
I really, really don't want to back down, but...
Silence!
Everybody shut the fuck up. Especially you, Nayuta. Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence?
I wouldn't say that, it's just...
Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning?
You mean, you believe me, ma'am?
Of course. No matter what, I believe in you to the very end.
Were those just empty words?
Of course not. It's just that all the cards are stacked against us.
Are you still stuck on that line of thinking?
Oh my god!
Motive, opportunity, and injury to his forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again, who are you to Bucky?
I'm his Miss Chickadee lawyer.
Then do your duty and believe in him to the very end.
I will. Simon's absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer and he's depending on me.
And team, please, no fighting in my courtroom.
Why don't you ever tell off Nayuta whenever he throws those fucking prayer beads at me? The defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackhole is just giving me a pep talk, that's all. Thank you, Prosecutor.
Huh. I didn't do it for your sake. I did it for the future of Wet Soba.
Yeah, I got it.
It's genuinely, I genuinely do really love Black Quill in this case. Like, it's amazing. Okay, so I wouldn't go so far as to call it character assassination, because in order to have your character assassinated, you know, you need to have a character in the first place, and Nayuta doesn't. But, like, this case has completely, like, ruined my perception of Nayuta. But it's just, all of the, what little love I had for Nayuta is going to Simon now. Simon is just, he keeps getting better, he's great.
The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session.
Owen, would you be alright with that?
Okay.
So, somebody was sitting on top of Shisho, bleeding from their head, and smushing something into Shisho's face.
That's funny.
What is it?
I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony itself, either.
Ah, so that's it, huh?
Did you figure something out?
Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. But there's actually something he's being very vague about in his testimony. You can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence. You should be able to move forward from there.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll just update the mood matrix with new information, then we'll be ready to go. So I just need to present something, or some evidence on what Owen is being vague about, huh?
Honestly, I really want there needs to be a Simon, like, give me a game that's like this duo. Honestly, give me a game where Athena is the main attorney and Simon is the prosecutor, and have like, don't have Apollo be, or not Apollo, don't have Phoenix be like the main defense lawyer in the case. Have him be like Athena's mentor and his I love that they just rotated this 90 degrees. Get rotated. I press? I can't press. I don't know what to present here. Because this is inconsistent with it, but I wouldn't mind a hint. Oh, yeah, sorry, Jaemon. A whole bunch of the redeems are broken currently. I don't know why, like, none of them are working. Blood on his face and a knife in his hand. On the floor, and somebody was smushing something into his face. Move it all. I was so scared, so I passed out. I could see it being this. But I don't know. The contradiction here is pretty vague. Is it the crime scene report?
Objection!
It is.
Let's put a name to the thing Owen's uncertain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spied the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo.
Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. I close my eyes. I choose not to see it. And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. Pray tell, where is this murder weapon you see?
You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. This is what the killer pressed on the Master Tonaido's face.
This camera angle? What? Huh? What? Is it supposed to be like... It couldn't be the bun. But like, this camera angle doesn't give me like anything to work with. What? See, here's what I was thinking, because I was thinking it was the sheet of plastic over on the left. Weird red marks on his face. Cause like it... Here's the thing. The soba doesn't make any sense because he doesn't have water in his lungs. But same thing with, like, the bun. Those are the only two things that could leave a red mark on his face. Because the bun has red paste in it. I do gotta say, this game is ramped up in difficulty significantly. I'm gonna send the bun. Because it could have been bean paste. Nope.
Stop everything. I'm rewinding time.
Maybe the noodles were dry. The noodles aren't the issue that I take with this, though. The issue that I take with this is that if it was the bowl, then that would mean that he was lying on the floor, which means they would have had to clean up the stain the liquid would leave on the floor and then recreate it on the table. It's not the bowl either. Watch it be like I have to point at the tiny bit of cushion under the table here. Cushion.
Fuck. God fucking damn it.
Miss Sykes, are you okay?
No. Ugh. Trial and error, Judge.
Whatever it is on the left. It's a box of bean buns.
Did you know that secretly everything in this room can be used as a murder weapon?
Take that!
Sorry, Your Honor. I'm just trial and erroring my way through this. I don't really...
It honestly would have made much more sense if it was the plastic from the soba making set. It wasn't. Noodles. What?
The mystery person that Owen saw pressed soba into the victim's face. And why the bowl didn't count, who the fuck knows? Thereby suffocating him.
I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. You know what, Nayuta? Gotta give you 1 point. You are correct on this one. But you're on thin fucking ice. This is the first time you've ever been correct in your entire life. Don't squander it. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate soba? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into someone's face. Yes, I agree.
Well, I disagree. There's a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim.
What? You'll explain your theory at once, Miss Sykes.
To kill Master Tonito, the culprit must have smothered him with...
Uncut soba dough would be the only one of these that actually makes sense to me.
The culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon is raw soba dough.
What? Yeah, but the intros in Ace Attorney cases have also lied to us in the past, so... Order in the court. Yes, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it?
Are you alright, Prosecutor Sadmati? Why am I asking you this? I don't care.
I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice, thanks to the foolish lawyer before me.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife. The weapon he used to suffocate the victim was the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of the murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles. What is this Danganronpa-ass murder weapon? Ugh. Why, you smarmy. Afterwards, the accused put the victim's face into the bowl of soba noodles and broth.
to wash the blood that had dripped onto the victim's face from his own. And there you have it. The true sequence of events behind this foul affair.
Now wait just a minute. I never once said that Mr. Wet was the culprit.
Have a good night, squirrels. Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles, Defense?
You know what, Nayuta? I fully believe that you don't know how to cut a ball of dough into noodles. I fully believe that you are stupid enough to not know how to cut dough into thin strips.
Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles, Defense? That's a very good point, Prosecutor Sadmati. I don't know how to cut dough. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. Me cooking. He would say that, wouldn't he? I love how we've just attributed, like... I love how we've attributed, like, Nayuta is, like, homophobic and sexist. And an incel, yeah. Who worked at a Domino's. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. Then what about the dying message? How do you explain that? Wait. Handling dough. Prosecutor Sadmati worked at a Domino's. Okay, the court hereby sentences Prosecutor Sadmati to death for the murder of I don't remember his first name, Tenaido. You handle dough, you know how to cut dough, and you have the perfect excuse because you're a prosecutor. But then what about the dying message? How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about Uendo's Owen personality. Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards, and they hold no other meaning. You know what? I don't even have the energy, like... Perhaps he spelled out Owen's name in jest, sometime before his murder. That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Tenaido cared for the boy. It appears we've arrived at a compelling conclusion. Taken together, all these points paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt.
Hold it!
Owen, is there anything else you can tell us?
Okay, real quick. I got a thing I want to do. I think chat will really enjoy this. I think this will be a fun game. I'm just gonna start this with a
Conservative estimate of 15. I will not make this a drinking game. I do not want to die. Do not take a shot every time he says stupid shit. What font should we use? Should we use a funky font? I got lots of fonts downloaded on my PC. You want to make it the Kingdom Hearts font? I got the Kingdom Hearts font. It's like unreadable at that size. Comic Sans. I have the Balatro Joker font. Oh wait, I shouldn't close that. Oh wait, I can just type into it there. Cool.
Owen, is there anything else you can tell us? It doesn't matter how small of a detail, anything will do. You're scaring me. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. I have to be gentler with him. I can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember. Well, when I woke up, the person who killed Chisho was standing over me, bleeding from their head. Owen, you saw the killer's face.
How's Nayuta treating you? Well, we just added a fancy new counter to the stream stuff. How are you doing, Pyre? It's at their head.
Owen, you saw the killer's face. Oops, I did it again. So who was it, Owen? Do you remember? Oh, I don't know who it was. I'm picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony.
Only 15. The 15 is a conservative estimate, counting up to this point. We're going to count from here on out. I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice it to say, we're analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, Defense. Let it go and move on.
No, there's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here.
Owen, do you think you can continue your testimony for us?
Okay. I'll enter the new info and run an update then.
Couldn't all. So scared I passed out. Woke up. The person who killed Chisho was standing over me. Why are you happy about that? We need a separate let it go and move on counter. We'll hit like 100 within the stream.
Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling. One of relief?
The person the witness saw was no stranger. Rather, it was the accused. Therefore, it is only natural he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Okay, that does, I mean, that's, I'm not gonna increment the counter on that one. Defense. End this madness and sully your soul no more.
Owen, who did you see? That nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume.
Okay, it definitely was, Giru.
It's the smell of, You can do it. Try to remember, Owen. The smell of, Owen?
Seems Owen is now resting in the infirmary. They certainly have their hands full today down there. Let's continue with the trial. Despite Owen's testimony, it is the opinion of this humble servant of the Holy Mother that the child's words were insufficient to clear the accused of suspicion.
But what about the scent of perfume Owen mentioned? I believe it's a clue that will lead us to the true culprit.
But there are thousands of perfumes in the world. It could even be the scent of the hair product the accused uses. He does have one amazing hairstyle, so that's certainly possible. Death by Clussy. The witness is a 5-year-old boy. He cannot tell the difference between conventional perfumes and hair products. Wow, Nayuta, you're just giving them for free.
Why couldn't you have gone for a crew cut or something, Bucky?
What's more, the only person who can cut soba noodles with such precision is the accused and no other. This counter was a good idea. We're already getting a lot of use out of this.
Oh man, how am I supposed to argue with that?
And so, the person Owen saw at the scene of the crime can only be the accused, Bucky Wet. What the? Hey! I never use hair products or anything with the smell. But were something like that, the smell would get into the soba. Boom, check it.
Mr. Wet, aren't you supposed to be resting in the infirmary?
Yeah, I've realized that. I realized that earlier. Whatever. You think I'd let my soba stink of perfume? Try that chilled soba for yourself and see. I believe we have no choice but to try it. Strictly for examination purposes, of course. Now then, let's dig in, shall we? That was delightful. Honestly, knowing Spirit of Justice's name conventions, this is actually pretty subtle. I will say, if I was in charge of making the name pun, it definitely would have been, wheat, spelt W-E-E-T. Well, I'm satisfied that there are no traces of hair products or perfumes in Mr. Wet's soba. First sweet bean buns and now savory soba. What a delectable trial this has been. His texture is different from the soba I had this texture is different from his soba I had the other day. Hi Trish, how are you doing?
It reminds me of a dish we have in Kurain called Banupun. What you think, Miss Chickadee? The soba's pretty good, isn't it?
It's delicious. Don't you think so, Simon?
Still pales in comparison to his late father's cuisine. Simey, why you always gotta be so hard on me? Bailiff, take the defendant back to the infirmary at once for some rest. No, you haven't even seen the worst. Like, okay. I don't remember if it's in Ace Attorney Investigations 1 or if it's in the fan translation of Investigations 2. But there's a character named Deadman. That's like Diead Mann. Ace Attorney name puns are great. Doing okay? Planning your meal prep for the week? Nice. Bailiff, take the defendant back to the infirmary at once for some rest. Rest? Hey, I had a lump of plain old weedy udon dough, you know? I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba dough rest. This is about the 3 freshes of soba. Grind the seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, boil the noodles fresh. Good grief, what a defendant.
At least Bucky wasn't the source of the perfume smell. Wait, smelly perfume.
Looks like you remembered something.
The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of a certain somebody.
Oh, and who might that be?
There's only one person that comes to mind. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of this person. Nayuta Sadmari.
Take that!
Garo Tonido. Yes, she did smell very nice, didn't she? Just a moment, Defense. You would throw suspicion on Gyaru now because of a scent. Your Honor, there's no need to go along with these ever-changing claims of the defense. I suppose their claims have been awfully inconsistent.
But Gyaru could have been at the crime scene.
Yes, but...
You'll get to see those balloons of hers if we call her back to the witness stand.
How vulgar. His Honor is not interested in such things.
Wow, I can't believe Nayuta actually had a good line.
Setting the matter of her balloons aside entirely, I do believe it's appropriate to ask Gyaru some questions, given the circumstances. This has nothing to do with her balloons, of course.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Pulkunka.
Thank you for calling this disciple of the Tonido School of Rakugo back for an encore. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Gyaru Tonido. 1, 2, balloon.
What wonderful balloon artistry.
Your Honor, please.
Nayuta is traumatized by the last case. Good.
I feel the need to say that that is a joke. Don't be mad at me for that.
Your Honor, please. Now then, what would you like me to make for you this time? Actually, I called you back for more testimony. But I'm all talked out. This case has left me completely deflated. that funny? But anyway, what exactly is going on, Simon?
It seems the person who murdered Master Tonido was wearing perfume.
And you are the only person I could think of who wears perfume. Wait, you mean I'm a suspect now? Gyaru, you knew about Owen, right? Well, yes. I often played with him at Shisho's request. So that means you could have left that fake dying message, right? What? Just because I wear perfume and know Owen? You think I'm a murderer? Oh, how could you?
The witness is absolutely right. That was just Edgeworth's voice. The witness is absolutely right. With no evidence but the distorted memories of a small child. It is outrageous of the defense to accuse this woman.
That's right. You don't even have any proof.
You may step down from the stand, Gyaru. The defense does not have one scrap of evidence that connects you to the crime.
Wait just 1 minute.
2 back-to-back, by the way.
I may not have proof, but Owen's testimony is still...
Enough. Please feel free to leave, Gyaru.
But I'm so close. There must be something I can do. Well, if the prosecutor says it's okay, then I guess I'll be going now.
Silence!
Boy, Gyaru. You're an entertainer, aren't you? Please tell me he pulls the exact same bit. Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? There's literally more evidence for Balloon Girl than Buckwheat. Sorry, give me a sec. Ugh. Ow. I like inhaled spit. Hopefully this doesn't fuck with my voices. Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? Wow. I fucked up my voice more than I thought that it did. Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? So what are you doing leaving halfway through? She has a cut on her forehead as well.
There's a bandage on Gyaru's forehead. And since we know that Master Tonido's killer has a cut on their face somewhere...
Impossible.
How did you know, Simon?
Huh. I didn't, but I had to take a chance and see for myself. Otherwise, your theory would remain a groundless accusation.
Your Honor, Prosecutor Sadmati. The scent of perfume and an injury on the forehead. These things are completely consistent with Owen's testimony.
I didn't, but I learned from the best at bullshitting.
Actually, no, Simon. I learned from the best at bullshitting.
God, what the fuck? I swallowed a little tiny bit of spit, Throat. Can you calm down? Stop being so angry at me? Two people can learn from the same person, Athena.
In short, the mysterious individual Owen saw in the dressing room could have been Gyaru.
Sykes? Does this mean you're formally indicting the witness for the murder of Taifu Tonido? Should your accusation prove to be false, I hope you're prepared to pay the price in full.
Simon, what price is he talking about?
Huh. I thought that should be obvious. Prosecutor Sad Monk is saying that he'll see to it you never stand in a court of law again. I must say, though, he knows how to make a trial interesting.
Just whose side are you on, Simon?
Go on then, into the deep end with you. You really have but one choice anyway. Well, Miss Sykes, I'm waiting.
With regards to the witness, Gyaru Tonido, the defense wishes to indict her. There's no reason for me to hold back. Not if I really believe in my client. The defense wishes to formally indict Gyaru Tonido for the murder of Taifu Tonido.
I have tried to be merciful, but now not even your pleas will reach the Holy Mother's ears. You'll have plenty of time to regret your decision in the pit of hell.
Except I won't need to. The person who murdered the victim was not Mr. Wet. It was Gyaru Tonido. That bandage is... It's just from a silly slip-up I made while cooking yesterday, that's all. What kind of extreme cooking were you doing to cut yourself on the forehead? Well, what can I say? That's what happened. You also don't have an alibi for the period before 4 p.m., do you, Gyaru? But I really didn't know anything was wrong until Shisha was found dead. If you don't believe me, then with a twisty twist. And Balloon, there you have it. An adorable little kitty. How could you suspect a cutesy little balloon artist like me, huh? Gyaru, I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but could it be that you don't have an eye for balloon art? Don't you think I know that? You didn't have to come out and say it. I'm the daughter of a great Rakugo artist. I never wanted to do stupid balloon art. I was supposed to be a Rakugo storyteller too, just like my late daddy. But Shisho told me to do balloon art instead. I guess the victim thought she had no talent as a Rakugo artist either. And so you're still gonna suspect a poor little thing like me.
I hope these voices are, like, distinguishable since my throat's fucked up. Ma'am, you're 34.
Please stop trying to skirt the issue. It all comes down to the scent of perfume and the cut on your forehead. You and the culprit in Owen's testimony share these two traits.
Oh, so you're a Nepo baby? Get her, Athena.
You're dead set on accusing me, aren't you? Well, here's what I have for naughty little girls like you. With a twisty twist twist. I'ma cut you, witch. Go ahead, make me testify all you want. When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it?
Oh my, is this yet another hidden personality?
Simon, is everybody in the Tonito school like this?
How should I know? He's too consumed by the Clussy. I do gotta say, I do like this.
Yeah, I visited the dressing room during that time to make a courtesy call after my act. Shincho and Owen were in there, but they were both snoring up a storm. I saw the note Shincho left, so I just left. Didn't want to disturb him, you know?
I do really like this face as well. The fucking crazy eyes are great. Yeah, the sound effect when she's swinging the sword around.
The perfume Owen smelled must have been left over from when I visited. And so, Giru's saying she went into the dressing room but then left right away.
Huh. Don't take her at her word.
Come on, do you really think I would? I'm just trying to figure out how to get her to talk about what really happened.
Now then, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your cross-examination. This girl has killed and will kill again, yeah. Also, I gotta ask, how in the world did she make this, like, fucked up little face on this? Look at her. I gotta say, I do, like, I know that it's, like, it's really dumb, but I do really like the Switch's zoom-in feature. It's just, it's so silly, and I love it a lot. I'm just gonna go ahead and preemptively save here. Oh, this is the final cross-examination, apparently.
Yeah, I visited the dressing room. Yeah, shut up. That was Athena's voice, I'm sorry. Courtesy call after your performance, huh? Come to think of it, Uendo mentioned making the same kind of visit. Yeah, a visit to your master before and after your routine. That's just common courtesy with us Rakugo artists and entertainers. So that means you paid the victim a courtesy call before your performance too, right? What did you see at that time? She was having a drink and getting he was having a drink and getting himself into a festive mood. He liked to say that drinking gave him a silver tongue. So he was already drinking by then. Uendo wasn't there in the dressing room just yet at that time. He must have gone in there during my act, because when I went back...
Ugh.
Could you describe how they appeared? They were both stretched out on the floor, snoozing away. And so sitting the victim up and over the table must have been the culprit's doing. After all, who wouldn't stretch out on the floor if they could take a nap? Plus, that matches up with what Owen said in his testimony. But if he was asleep, how could you tell it was Owen? How did you know it wasn't Uendo? I've known the guy for ages. One look at his face and I know which one I'm dealing with. I see. Where did you find your master's note? I don't know. Can't remember. Did you notice anything else unusual or out of place in the room? Well, there was the sake and a half-eaten manju on the table. But I didn't see anything else out of place or whatever in the room, though.
Oh, is that a fact?
Of course it is. What do you think?
And you didn't change anything around while you were in there?
I didn't do anything. Look, I'm telling ya. I didn't see anything funny near Shisho, and I didn't touch anything in the room.
Your baldness. I request that Gyaru's last statement be added to her testimony.
Simon. What's a statement like that going to do for us?
Just play along and you'll see soon enough. I have no problem with adding that to the testimony, but how about you, Miss Sykes?
I have no problem with it either, Your Honor. What is Simon thinking?
Hold it!
So I just want to confirm. You didn't see anything at all unusual or out of place anywhere around the room. I already told you nothing. And you didn't touch anything at all in the dressing room. How many times I gotta say it? No, I didn't touch anything. Oh, wait. But then, is she saying she didn't see what Uendo immediately saw when he checked the victim's body? Does that mean it wasn't there yet at that time? Oh, hold on. I guess there was something. What is it? The soba making equipment was already there in the room. That means Bucky must have been there in the dressing room before me, doing something. Thanks for the non-help.
I hope these voices are distinguishable enough. My throat's having a rough time switching between the two of them right now.
Well, a new statement has been added. But she's still sticking to her guns.
Said she didn't see anything unusual in the dressing room. But that strikes me as a little strange on its own.
Really? Why?
If Master Tenaido really is the one who left that, you'd think Gyaru would have noticed it. And if Master Tenaido wasn't the one who left it, then we must ask who did. You know what I'm getting at, don't you, Athena?
I think so. I really appreciate Simon's help, but I've got to come up with the answer myself this time.
Is it the Karuta cards? I could see it being the Karuta cards, but... That's honestly the only thing that I can really...
Does she know about what they said? Trying to think back to what you're talking about.
Hold it!
Oh, I didn't mean to... What Uendo immediately saw when he checked the victim's body? Does that mean it wasn't there yet at that time? Said she didn't see anything unusual in the dressing room. That strikes me as a little strange on its own. Really, why? Master Tonido really is the one who left that. You'd think Giru would have noticed it. Master Tonido wasn't the one who left it, then we must ask who did. I think it's the cards. Like, the cards are really the only thing I can think of that fits what they're insinuating.
Objection!
It is.
Gyaru, you said you didn't notice anything odd or unusual near your master. You also said you didn't touch anything in the dressing room. That's right. What about it? And then I wonder who left that dying message with the Karuta cards. What are you going on about? It had to have been Bucky. Sorry, but that's not possible. Because only 3 people knew of Uendo's personalities. Uendo, your master, and you.
If Bucky had left that Karuta message, he wouldn't have spelled out Owen. He would have spelled out Uendo.
What it boils down to is this. As a member of the Tonido School, you, Gyaru Tonido, are the only one who could have left that dying message. And as the person who left that message, it's clear that you are Master Tonido's killer. Will you ever quit your yapping?
Objection.
You are like wretches clinging to the spider thread of salvation. You're not a Buddhist. You may be a monk, but you're not a Buddhist. Allow me to cut that holy thread from the heavens and bring you back down to earth.
Would you quit butting in whenever things start to go my way?
Add that to the count. Nah. I'll let him have that one. I got that reference. I played Skyward Sword. In silence, child. Playtime is over.
What did you just say?
Urianism is based on a type of Buddhism. Ah, interesting. As the witness stated, she went into the dressing room and soon came back out again. But the victim's note was not the only reason she left with such haste. There was another reason that compelled Gyaru to leave at once. Gyaru, would you please relate said reason to the court?
There was a reason why Gyaru had to leave that dressing room? Well, I didn't want to show you this, but I guess I got no choice. Keep your eyes peeled, because here it comes. Your hand is all swollen and red. What happened, Gyaru? If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat. What?
Now, Yuta, how are you... You know what? He hasn't even said anything. I'm adding one to the counter for this. Allergic reactions to buckwheat can vary. Because he's thinking this is like his own... He's thinking this is his ace in the hole. Does this not simply prove that she was there and had it in her hands? Prepare the counter, yeah. Allergic reactions to buckwheat can vary, though they're usually on the severe side. With Typhoon Tonido making soba noodles in his dressing room, Giru is lucky to still be alive, considering all the soba flour that was swirling in the air.
Good thing I left pretty quick. I managed to escape with just a mild reaction. But I touched Shinsho as he was being carried away, and look at what it did to my poor hands. There must have been soba broth on his clothes or something. If I'd inhaled any of that soba flour, I'd have had a seizure and it'd be goodnight Giru. I never could have stayed in that dressing room for very long.
It's nowhere else on her skin, Yuta. Think for 2 seconds. Person allergic to buckwheat couldn't be in a room with soba flour in the air. Certainly couldn't use soba dough as a murder weapon either.
This isn't good.
Knew it would come to this, didn't you? That's why you never mentioned her allergy. Think, Yuta, think. As if I would do something so underhanded. I was simply trying to protect the privacy of this witness.
I'm sick of all these accusations. Why don't I just testify to get it all out in the open, yeah?
What? The game lied to me. Of course he does. He treats it as a game and wins, and usually it means someone executions. Oh wait, no, that would be interesting. It's also... Funny you say that, Pyre. That's also just Manfred von Karma's, like, motivation.
If I come into the slightest contact with buckwheat, I get an allergic reaction. And with that much soba flour in the air, that room could have literally killed me. Look at my hand. Just touching Shisho's body caused this much damage. And there must have been soba broth on his clothes. So I never could have committed that murder in the dressing room.
Him being a smug bitch there would be fun if he wasn't a dumbass the rest of the time, yeah. See, you need something else going for you other than just being a smug piece of shit. Because if you're just a smug piece of shit, that's all you are. And you're stuck with it.
I still can't believe it. Nobody told me she had a soba allergy. Did you know, Simon?
Huh. Does it look like I knew? Protect the privacy of the witness, my foot. What a dirty trick.
Now what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. Put Prosecutor Sad Monk to shame with your cross-examination.
Right. No matter how small, I'll find us an opening and break her testimony down.
Hold it!
You're not lying about this soba allergies of yours, right? course not. I swear on the grave of my father up in heaven. I can even get you a doctor's certificate if you want. She seems to be telling the truth. I've had this allergy for as long as I can remember. But I never dreamt in a million years it'd clear me of murder.
You'll come out of this smelling like a delicate buckwheat flower to boot.
Well said, Your Honor.
Hold it!
I'll give you that there was quite a bit of flour scattered about in that dressing room. But you went in to pay your respects to your master regardless, right? Yeah, but like I said, I came right back out. I mean, the soba making tools were right there. You better believe I was careful not to breathe any of it in. But you still could have committed this crime if you had held your breath while doing it. Don't be ridiculous. I would have suffocated to death before Shisho did. Yeah, I guess you're right. Jeez, get a grip, will ya?
Remind me how much evidence there is to prove that Buckwheat is the culprit again? None. Like, actually none.
Hold it!
Maybe there's a twist here. Like, you're actually allergic to dogs and not soba? You kidding? Bring my little Jajemu in here. I'll hug and squeeze him like there's no tomorrow. I'm telling you, I have a genuine, honest-to-goodness soba allergy.
Defense. The witness clearly has an authentic allergy to buckwheat. Any further deliberation on the matter would be meaningless, pointless, worthless.
You heard the man, lawyer girl. All right, fine. I was just starting to think the same thing myself. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though. I probably got this allergic reaction on my hand here because I touched Shinsho.
Or Shisho. I too am allergic to the defendant.
Hold it!
I have a question about that, actually. If you're allergic to soba, does that mean you're allergic to the noodle broth, too? Well, the buckwheat from the noodles can dissolve into the broth, so duh. Touching soba broth can be just as deadly for me. Don't you know anything? What an amateur. I'm sorry. Do I look like a doctor to you? Look. Anything that has soba in it, or anything that has touched soba, is like poison to me. And so I never could have committed that murder in the dressing room.
Hold it!
So, I just want to cover all my bases, but... could the murder have possibly occurred somewhere other than the dressing room?
Objection.
That is out of the question. By even asking, you show your complete disregard for all we've discussed until now. Yes, I have to agree. The defense can't go around suggesting new premises without basis.
Unfortunately for you, Shisho didn't take a single step from his dressing room around the time of the murder. Well, that is unfortunate for everyone.
Gyaru could not possibly have committed this crime in a room where soba was being made. Finally, the time has come for the last rites of the victim to begin. Huh.
What would Mr. Wright do at a time like this? Off gets. There's only one thing to do.
Are you smiling about? The pressure overwhelmed you.
Nope. It's just that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles.
I see. You have no rebuttal, so the only thing left to you is to smile.
Oh. That's where you're wrong. I do have a rebuttal. Turn your thinking around, Athena. Don't try to figure out how Gyaru, who is allergic to soba, could commit the crime. Figure out how Gyaru could be in that room and not have an allergic reaction instead.
The rest? Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. I'm fresh like my soba. You don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the three freshes. Buckwheat seeds fresh, get the dough fresh, and boil the noodles frit. He's blacked out. Did I even spell Nayuta correctly in that text box? I'm missing a Y. It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting, do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisha was napping?
If you must know, I'm allergic to buckwheat.
What did she say? Mon Dieu? Yeah, she did say Mon Dieu.
Mon Dieu. What if that certain piece of evidence doesn't mean what we think it means? If that's the case, I might be able to prove that Gyaru could have committed this crime.
No matter how hard you search your mind, you cannot overturn facts. Well, Miss Sykes, if you have no further objections, I'll hand down my ruling.
True, I can't overturn facts. But what if we got our facts about a piece of evidence wrong?
Mon Dieu ceased. Got our facts wrong? What are you talking about now? Which piece of evidence do you mean, Miss Sykes? Point this out to the court.
This evidence proves that Gyaru could have killed her master, even with her soba allergy.
Facts, Nayuta, you mean assumptions, yeah.
Oh. Wait.
Take that!
It's Master Tonito's note.
The note? Preposterous. What possible connection could there be between the witness's allergy and that note?
The answer lies in the true meaning of this note.
Its true meaning.
This note does not mean I am resting, do not disturb as we had assumed. But rather, it actually means this dough is resting, do not disturb it.
Wait a minute, Athena. That doesn't make any sense.
You're right, it doesn't. After all, as Bucky told us many a time, you don't let Soba dough rest. What's all this jibber-jabber got to do with anything? This is it, the home stretch. This note and Mr. Wet's words have led me to the conclusion that Master Tonito was
Making udon noodles.
the victim. Taifu Tonito was not making buckwheat noodles. He was making ordinary udon noodles instead.
Kunka!
That layer of flour in the dressing room wasn't soba flour, but plain old wheat flour for udon. So actually, it was totally possible for Gyaru to be in that room and kill her master.
What? But if that's true, it changes everything.
Your Honor, the defense requests that the flour in the room be tested immediately.
Objection.
But soba noodles were found in the bowl, and Gyaru did not have a reaction, or did have a reaction on her hand. How do you explain those things?
Well...
Even were it udon flour instead of soba, you still cannot prove Gyaru committed the crime.
But...
Don't lose your nerve now. Keep charging forward or you'll feel my blade at your back.
Enough with the threats already, I got it. Talk about pressure. Alright, Athena, take a deep breath and go over everything again.
Yes, let's do it.
I'm going to revisualize the case from start to finish. I have to find conclusive evidence that Gyaru committed this murder. What was Master Tonito making in his dressing room?
Udon.
By my logic, Master Tonito must have been making udon noodles in his dressing room. But something at the crime scene indicates otherwise. What was found in the bowl on the table?
Soba.
Even though the master wasn't making soba, soba noodles were found at the scene. So that means the noodles had to have come from somewhere. Wait a minute. One mysterious serving of soba noodles. That sounds familiar. Where did the soba in the bowl on the table come from? The soba noodles found at the scene were from the master's stock of uncooked noodles. But then, why would the culprit go out of her way to cook that soba and put it into the bowl? Why did the culprit cook the soba noodles and put them in the bowl? Soba was found at the scene. So that means the culprit must have taken udon with her to hide it.
Or taken the udon.
But why did the culprit take the udon away and hide it? It must have been because...
He killed him with the udon dough? This really is some fucking Danganronpa shit, isn't it? This is almost as ridiculous of a murder weapon as the fucking seesaw is.
That's it. The udon dough was the real weapon used to kill Taifu Tonido. And the reason why no weapon was found was because Giru got rid of the dough somehow. The real murder weapon was the udon dough the victim made. If we can find this dough, that'll prove my theory correct. And undeniably prove Giru's guilt.
Objection.
Even if we could find this dough, what makes you think it would prove she is the one?
Please recall Owen's eyewitness testimony, Prosecutor Sadmati. The injury on Giru's forehead was caused by the victim's knife. Then Giru's blood must have dripped down onto the dough used as the murder weapon. That would make the dough pretty conclusive evidence, wouldn't you agree?
Ah, but where is this conclusive evidence? Let us hear your theory on where this murder weapon is.
Well, it's... If I can't find the answer in the evidence I have on hand, we'll lose this trial. So how did Giru get rid of the udon dough? Think, Athena. What do I have that points to suspicious behavior on Giru's part?
Now then, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. Where's the real murder weapon hidden? Nice barking you did there. I assume you have the bite to back it up.
Stop distracting me, especially not right now. This piece of evidence can point us to the location of the hidden murder weapon.
It's Simon's testimony.
Take that!
Giru. Huh? What is it? I'm just an innocent girl. I don't know anything about murder. Stuff that cute act in your balloon hat. Giru got rid of the dough she used to kill Master Tonido in a bold and daring way. She did it right in front of Prosecutor Blackwell's nose, by feeding it to her dog. No,
Of course. Now it all makes sense. Yeah, he did do that, didn't he? I was puzzled as to why Gyaru, who should know her own dog's eating habits, would feed Jejemu more than he could possibly finish.
Your Honor, please order an investigation of the yard right now.
And what should the police at the theater be looking for, exactly?
Jejemu must have buried his leftover dumplings somewhere around his doghouse. Dumplings that Gyaru made out of the udon dough with her blood on it.
This is preposterous.
I want to thank you, Simon. If you hadn't kept me going, I might have given up along the way.
What are you blathering on about? You still have work to do. Now, by your hand, finish this wretched case off, Athena.
You got it. Gyaru, do you remember what you said would happen when the truth is finally revealed? When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it? Well, now the truth is out, and it looks to me like it's your balloon that goes pop.
Kunka.
I'm a Rakugo artist. I was the one who was supposed to inherit that name. But then Shisho...
The nose, too.
Why are my balloons bursting? Daddy, are you mad at me? I've been a bad girl. Ah!
Yeah, I've seen this bit. I have seen, or not this bit, I've seen the, well, I've seen the, her popping her chest balloons by accident. I haven't seen the breakdown, but I have seen people meme about her popping the chest balloons before.
Oh. Are you ready to tell us everything now, Gyaru? The whole reason I entered the world of Rakugo in the first place was to follow in my father's wonderful footsteps and inherit his stage name. His stage name? You don't mean...
Uendo Tonaido.
I knew I wasn't very good at storytelling, but I thought that if I did the stupid balloon thing like Shisho wanted, I'd inherit the name someday. But Master Tonaido gave the name to his junior disciple. Yeah. And that's why I took my revenge on Shisho during the show celebrating the name succession. So that was your entire motive? I doubt anybody else could understand, but inheriting my father's name was everything to me. It was my whole reason for living.
Of all the days you could have taken your revenge, why did you choose the day of the show?
Because I wanted to pay Uendo back for stealing what was rightfully mine. I wanted to pin the blame at him on the show, or on him at the show, where all the Tonaido fans were gathered. But then Uendo tried to shift the blame onto Bucky Wet. And now we know the whole story.
There's just one more thing I want to know. Did you know Master Tonaido was making udon in his dressing room yesterday?
No, I didn't. When I saw the soba making tools, I was worried about my allergy. But it was my only chance to get my revenge on the two of them, so I went ahead and did it.
So it was a premeditated crime, but in the end you only went through with it on impulse. And the allergic reaction on your hand. Is it from touching the soba in the refrigerator with your bare hands? You were tampering with the crime scene after your master's death.
Yeah. By that time, I wasn't clear-headed enough to worry about my allergy.
Gyaru, how could you do all of this, you idiot?
Gyaru, I get your desire to inherit your father's name. But what you really should have inherited from him wasn't his name, but his heart. His heart?
You have anything to add, Prosecutor Sadmari? Any objections? Anything stupid to say to add to the counter?
No, Your Honor. Miss Athena Sykes.
Yes? That's the first time he's used my name.
I shall be sure to remember your name.
Really?
Seems he finally recognizes you as a proper adversary.
Thanks. That's all I ask, Prosecutor Sadmati.
It looks like there are no further objections. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Ah, good. It seems you've made a full recovery. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Bucky Wet, not guilty.
He's just so nonplussed about this.
This court is adjourned. Get out of my sight, Nayuta.
Congratulations, Bucky. I'm so glad you were found innocent.
Thanks for everything, Miss Chickadee.
But it still sucks you were accused of a crime you didn't commit. Did Uendo have it out for you or something?
I don't think so. Uendo said it was a spur-of-the-moment idea he got when he saw the Soba-themed cards.
Also, always forget that Gear's hair isn't pink. You can see, like, the flashbang. You can see me, like, react to it. Because I was like, excuse me, what? 10 per hour in this case took 6 hours. I think your 15 guess was very conservative. Yeah. I think the last stream alone could have hit, like, 25.
Simon, where have you been?
I stopped in at Uendo's questioning. Only you, Bucky, could get framed for a crime on a whim.
No way. I almost got convicted out of convenience?
Well, at least you've been completely cleared of all charges, so buck up, Bucky. On a more important note, what I really want to know is... why didn't Master Tonido let Gyaru inherit her father's name?
What do you mean on a more important note, Miss Chickadee?
Don't be such a wet blanket. Just go with the flow. Now, come on.
I appreciate how short this case is.
You think the Master was trying to encourage her to quit the entertainment business?
That's not it. He didn't give the name to her because he wanted Gyaru to find her own calling in life. From whatever she wanted to, without being bound by her father's name or Rakugo. Making udon was his way of showing his support for her in her new endeavor.
So that's why he called you to the theater, huh? To teach him how to make udon?
A more roundabout way I've never seen. That's Master Tonido for you.
So this entire incident happened because of a misunderstanding? How sad.
By the way, Gyaru wasn't the only person Master Tonido was trying to cheer on.
You definitely did call it. I read the thing and I was like, yeah, that would have been an interesting angle, and then it was just like horseshoed back around into being that.
Even though the person in question still seems unaware of the Master's intentions.
This is why communication, yeah. I do gotta say, it is really funny that you misspelled important. Immopertant. What? You talking about me? Oh, no way. All that old man ever did was criticize my soba.
That's not true, Bucky. There must be a way to make Bucky see just how much Master Tonido cared about him.
Is it this? Stort. Toy Stort.
Take that!
Take a good look, Bucky. Whose name is on there as the holder of this title deed?
Still in my name. Master Tonito was just up to one of his tricks when he said he stole the shop from you. He was trying to force you to grow into a truly capable owner in your father's stead.
He probably used some tough love on you so that shop wouldn't just go belly up.
I see. Never knew. Oh, Master Tonito. I'm so sorry. Keep working hard, Bucky. And pay him back by living up to his expectations.
Thanks, Simey. And you too, Miss Chickadee. One day my soba's gonna be so good it'll knock that old man's socks clean off. After all, I'm the 4th generation owner of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4. Oh, I'd better be getting back to my shop. Gotta get ready for the lunch rush.
Hold on. Could I place an order for delivery, Bucky?
Yes, Miss Chickadee?
Could you deliver a bowl of udon to Gyaru on behalf of her master?
You got it. I'll make sure it's got all the TLC Master Tonito would have packed into it too.
Thank you.
I'll see ya. Be sure to drop by the shop sometime.
I will, and I'll bring the whole agency with me.
Do us all proud, Bucky.
Have the best soba in town waiting for you when you come. Peace out.
It's nice to see somebody giving it their all, isn't it? I wonder if I leveled up any thanks to this case.
Don't kid yourself. The trial would have been a spectacle and a half had I not been at your side.
You don't know that.
For a lawyer who's versed in psychology, you're too full of weak points. You need to learn to analyze yourself more objectively.
Or you could just teach me your famous mind tricks, Simon.
No.
A way to shut someone down, and why not?
Because the more pesky lawyers there are, the harder my job becomes. So it's in my best interest for you to remain green forever.
Hey, what about what's in my best interest, huh? Besides, weren't you the one who had the wool pulled over your eyes by Uendo?
Must you remind me? How could I have known Uendo would do time soba?
Hey, speaking of time soba, I just thought of something funny.
It's inconsistent. There are some characters that are heavily implied to have been executed, but
Oh goody, I can't wait.
Okay, here it is. In time soba, why didn't Mon number 9 get counted? Come on, do you know, Simon?
How should I know?
Because 7, 8, 9. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
no. Rotful. It's in my best interest to keep you unskilled forever. That way I can convict more innocent people.
That I should have known. Come on, let's go get soba or something and go home.
Your treat.
I'll treat you to 50% of the tab, and don't forget, you still owe me for that manju.
Really, Simon? It wouldn't hurt for you to pay for me every once in a while, you know?
Quit squawking and start walking, Athena.
Hey, wait for me! I may still have a ways to go as a lawyer. But just like Mr. Wright, Apollo, and Simon before me, I'm going to get there someday. After all, I've inherited their passion for our courts and the law. Je peux le faire? I can do this.
I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry. Turnabout Revolution. Let's watch the intro cutscene, and then we'll end. Oh my god, he's built like a fucking Dragon Ball character.
Far enough. Who's there? It is I, the Plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm.
Good people of Khura'in, we can't allow things to go on like this. The Defense Culpability Act has done nothing but produce countless victims of wrongful convictions. The time to act is now, for we, the Defiant Dragons, have obtained the ultimate weapon, the Founder's Orb. And to the Garenian regime, make no mistake about it, I will personally dethrone you. A dragon never yields, nor will he rest until his revolution is complete.
And this concludes our report on the recent television hijacking incident in Khura'in. Really, who could have anticipated such a surprising turn of events? Okay, this is an Apollo case. Interesting. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I need to switch my thing back before I forget about it. Gone. Yeah, I do gotta say, they actually didn't do too bad with Uendo. But I like that Phoenix's hat is up on the trophy in the corner. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Exclamation point Discord if you want to join the Discord. Exclamation point socials if you want to check out the VODs channel. It has a VOD archive of basically every stream I've ever done. Or my Blue Sky, where I post art from time to time whenever I'm feeling it. And I'm supposed to post my schedule, but I never make schedules on time. You know how it be. Otherwise, let's go back to the do not save. Why is it dead silent? I do like that it just gives us like all of the I want to find the Athena Sykes. I'm gonna leave this running. I also didn't realize that the name of this song was Courtroom Revolutionaire. But yeah, give me a sec and we'll find someone to raid. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how my voice is feeling. I'll try to see if I can figure out what's up with my stuff, but let's go poke the turret. The turret is playing Armored Core. Here is your raid message. Think your headphones are breaking. Oof, I'm sorry, Mystic. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I most likely will not be streaming tomorrow, and if I am streaming tomorrow, it will be not Ace Attorney. Other than that, have a good one, and take care, everyone.